Have you ever wondered why some people seem happy on the outside but carry an invisible weight inside? The truth is, depression doesn't always show up with tears or obvious withdrawal. Often it hides behind smiles, hobbies, routines, and even over-the-top enthusiasm. Where's the cruel paradox? The more someone tries to look okay, the deeper their silent suffering can be. It's shocking to think you might interact with someone every day who seems normal and have no idea they're rebattling inner demons. But what if I told you there are subtle, clear signs of this silent struggle? Small habits, behavior changes, and actions that seem harmless can actually be clues that something isn't right. And noticing them can be the first step to helping or getting help. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 7 signs that almost nobody notices, yet reveal when depression is hiding. This isn't just about sadness or fatigue. It's about deep patterns that affect sleep, eating, relationships, and even how someone connects with the world. Believe me, understanding these signs can completely change the way you see yourself and others. Chapter 1. Excessive self-care habits. A lot of people think that self-care is always a good sign, and most of the time it is. But there are moments when overdoing it hides something deeper. It's like a runner who isn't running to feel good but running to escape a fire behind them. Someone might start exercising every day, listening to music nonstop, diving into hobbies. On the outside, they look healthy and productive. Inside, though, every action is a shield against the pain they're trying not to face. A real example? Imagine someone who suddenly spends hours cooking elaborate meals, when before they barely made coffee. They say it's a passion for cooking, but deep down, it's a way to stay busy and avoid thinking about the pain they're feeling. This kind of behavior is tricky because it's socially accepted. Who is going to criticize someone for wanting to take care of themselves? But in silence, they're fighting battles nobody sees. The danger is when self-care becomes just a pretty bandage over a wound that really needs attention. It's like painting a moldy wall without fixing the leak. At first, it looks fresh and perfect, but eventually, the problem comes back. And if this pattern continues, the person may feel nothing is enough. Not extra workouts, not loud music, not even binge-watching favorite shows. And that can open the door to even subtler signs of hidden depression. Chapter 2. Irregular sleep and eating patterns. The body is like an orchestra. When one instrument is off, the whole performance suffers. Sleep and eating are 2 of the main instruments. When they fall out of sync, everything else, mood, energy, focus, goes with them. Sleeping too much or barely at all, eating compulsively or skipping meals, it's the body's silent way of saying something's wrong. I've seen people trade night for day without even noticing. They'd stay up until sunrise, scrolling aimlessly, as if trying to delay facing reality. Others would go days without appetite, then binge suddenly. It wasn't laziness or lack of discipline. It was their body responding to the emotional weight they carried. These irregular patterns have a dangerous cumulative effect. It's like driving a car with a leaky fuel tank. No matter how much you add, nothing sustains the journey. And when sleep and eating go off balance, other areas suffer too. Productivity, personal relationships, physical health. Without realizing it, this opens the door to deeper, more hidden thoughts and questions about life itself. Chapter 3. Constant philosophical and existential thoughts. Some people, when going through tough times, dive deep into thoughts about life. They constantly ask about the meaning of existence, revisit the past with what-ifs, or imagine futures that may never happen. It's like the mind becomes a room full of mirrors, reflecting 1,000 possibilities, but never showing a clear exit. Outwardly, they seem like deep thinkers. Inside, they trying to find an anchor, so they get lost in the sea of uncertainties. I once saw a friend who, during a personal crisis, started reading philosophy obsessively. He spent hours debating purpose, fate, free will. But these conversations were really a cover for the unspoken question: why am I still here? Intellectual exploration can be enriching, but it becomes an emotional maze when there's no guidance or support. The problem is that living in this mental labyrinth makes the ground unstable. It's like walking on quicksand. The more you think and debate, the deeper you sink. And in the middle of all these reflections, a fear begins to grow. A fear of getting close to people, opening up and letting anyone in. Which leads straight to the next subtle sign of hidden depression. Chapter 4. Fear of abandonment. The fear of being left behind is like a shadow following every relationship. For those who live with it, letting someone in feels like opening your door during a storm. The risk seems bigger than the reward. People with this fear often keep a safe distance, not because they don't want connection, but because they dread the day it turns into absence. Past experiences leave deep marks that reinforce this barrier. I remember a client who always said, "I'd rather not get attached, that way I don't get hurt." What she didn't realize is that this strategy, while protective, also kept her from receiving genuine support. The fear of abandonment creates a cruel paradox. In trying to protect themselves, people isolate themselves, which only increases the loneliness they fear. It's like building walls for defense, then realizing you're trapped inside them. This fear can turn simple interactions into internal battles. A message not answered becomes proof of disinterest. A canceled plan becomes evidence of inevitable rejection. And as tension builds, it can spill over in unexpected ways. Not always as sadness, but as irritability, impatience, and a more fragile emotional state. Chapter 5. Irritability and impatience. Depression doesn't always wear a sad face. Sometimes it shows up as irritability, short temper, or frustration at the smallest things. It's as if the mind is so overloaded that even minor details spark an emotional fire. People find themselves snapping at friends, family, or coworkers, and deep down, it's not them they're angry at, but the weight they carry inside. I knew someone who, during a tough period, got annoyed with everything: traffic, supermarket lines, even the sound of utensils clanging. He would say, "I wasn't like this. Everything just irritates me." It wasn't simple bad mood. It was an emotionally exhausted body reacting to minimal discomfort. Think of it like a rubber band stretched too far. It takes just a tiny pull to snap. This heightened sensitivity can strain relationships and reinforce the feeling that no one understands. And when the person notices they are redrifting further away, either pushing people out or struggling to tolerate them, it creates the perfect setup for more subtle signs. It's often masked by seemingly normal behavior. Chapter 6. Disguised isolation. Isolation isn't always obvious, like someone locked in their room. Sometimes it comes disguised as presence. A person might still attend events, engage in family gatherings, or chat casually, but only on a superficial level, never letting anyone in emotionally. It's like being in the same room as everyone else, but separated by an invisible glass wall. I've seen someone show up at every friend meet, laughing, toasting, taking photos, yet secretly feeling completely empty. This fake presence creates the illusion that everything is fine, both for the outside world and for the person themselves, who uses shallow interaction to avoid facing their emotions. Disguised isolation is sneaky because it's socially acceptable. No one questions someone who is always around, but physical presence doesn't guarantee emotional connection. And when this disconnect goes on, things that once brought joy slowly lose their shine, setting the stage for the final hidden sign. Chapter 7. Loss of interest in things that used to matter when depression quietly takes hold. Even activities that once brought joy start to fade. Hobbies, passions, sports, or socializing can all feel empty. It's like the spark has been drained, leaving only autopilot. I knew someone who loved running at sunrise, feeling alive after every jog. Over time, he kept running, but the excitement was gone. It became mechanical. This ice-and-tea laziness, it is a soul-conserving energy to survive days that feel heavy and monotonous. The most subtle sign of this loss is the sense that nothing is ever enough. Nothing excites, nothing sparks curiosity, nothing motivates. And in that silent emptiness, many people get lost, unaware that this fertile ground is what allows hidden depression to persist, quietly shaping thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Conclusion: did you notice any of these signs in yourself or someone close to you? Recognizing them isn't just about identifying depression. It's about awareness, taking action, and transforming your life. Small steps, like adjusting sleep habits, opening up to a trusted person, or engaging in activities that truly bring joy, can make a huge difference. Think about how often we ignore subtle signals because we assume it's nothing. Every detail matters. Noticing what's going on inside yourself or someone you care about is the first step toward real change. Remember, no one has to face this alone, and support can make all the difference. If you related to any of this, or know someone who might, share this video. Leave a comment with your experiences or questions, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way, you keep learning and help spread awareness about mental health.